Hey Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome to today's readings. We are asking, how are the solar flares affecting you? Now, you don't always see me at the beginning of a reading, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the solar flares and share a little bit about how I've noticed this phenomenal sort of explosion of electromagnetic energy is impacting on me, and I've had various conversations with people and discovered this is having a similar effect on other people as well. In fact, I got a massive download really to do these readings following a solar flare. So if you just want to leap straight to the readings, if you know from the thumbnail right at the start which of the readings you want to tune into, the timestamps are in the description box below, and I'll put them in a comment as well, so you can zap straight through and bypass the bit of me talking if you wish to. But if you want to just tune in with this a little bit, you're very welcome to. I am really noticing that the solar flares are having an impact on my energy. And what I have discovered is because we've been having quite a lot of solar flares for quite a while now. The sun goes through like an 11-year cycle where it has heightened solar activity, and this has come a year earlier than scientists were expecting it. I found a site actually which gives you the most up-to-date information on the solar flares, because I kind of found that my energy is being significantly affected. And what I've been doing is I sort of felt my energy would drop. That's what kind of happens to me. My energy drops. I feel really physically wiped out, and it's really sudden. It just comes over me. And then relatively shortly afterwards, providing I kind of am responsive to that, and I'll say a little bit more about that in a moment, providing I'm responsive in a really appropriate way, my energy then picks up and I'm buzzing. It's like I go from one extreme to the other. It's as if my body is processing a massive kind of, I don't know, zap of sun energy, electromagnetic alterations in the vibration, in the energy field. My body has to process it. It's a bit like when you fight off a virus. Before you actually get a virus or a cold, you often feel really tired because your body's working overtime to deal with that. And it's as if my body goes into this immediate processing phase. And providing I allow that to happen and I get still, I get centered, and physically my body can do that processing without too much interference, not pushing through to achieve a billion things at 100 miles an hour. If I let that happen, what I then find is I have a massive surge of energy afterwards, and I can then achieve a great deal. It's almost as though I'm working overtime. My body's unable to work overtime. So it's really interesting. And during that sort of slow point when I need to stop, I also find I'm receiving significant downloads of information. It's as though creativity and channels of information are slightly heightened for me. Now, I have tried to push through and discovered it really doesn't work. So I'm learning to be responsive. Going back to that site I found, what was happening, I noticed I was getting these drops in energy followed by a surge of activity. And I would then discover afterwards that there had been a solar flare. This site gives you the most up-to-date information on the solar flares. So I will put a link in the description box and in the comment as well. So if you want to check in, if you are noticing that there are variations in your energy and you want to check it out, it seems to be a site that gives the most updated information about what is expected in terms of solar flares, and also what's been happening. And I've found that when I've checked it out, my energy levels are really corresponding with these solar flares, because it's a huge drop in energy initially, and then, as I said, I'm buzzing afterwards. So very, very interesting occurrence really. Astrologically, the sun is representative of very powerful energy in our charts, in our astrological charts, and very powerful elements of creativity. And I'm finding I'm getting massive creative downloads in that kind of period, providing I get still and let my body adjust to a different kind of frequency. So beautiful souls, if you're noticing your own energy levels are changing, I mean, do let us know in the comments. And thank you all so much for your comments, for being a part of this community. I do read all your comments. I can't respond to them all because there are just too many, but thank you so much. Hearing your stories, I mean, you guys are so inspirational. So yeah, do please share how these solar flares are impacting on you. And the download I received regarding these readings was really to tune in to messages from Source, from Spirit, about the spiritual element of this altered energy, this different vibration that is coming in big waves at the moment, to see what messages come through about the way in which they're affecting you and the sort of spiritual undertones or the spiritual messages, the purpose, let's say, of this altered vibration for these pockets of time. So, beautiful souls, you have 3 cards to choose from for these readings and 2 runes with each. I'm going to shift the camera down and hold them up so you can have a good look at them. The thumbnail at the beginning, some of you may already have known which reading or readings is speaking to you. But I hope this is helpful to share this information. I hope if your energy levels are being affected, this will help you to remain grounded, to find what works for you. You know, obviously it depends on our lives. Sometimes, you know, the world is really busy and we have a schedule to meet. But I have noticed, even if I have to drop into, you know, a moment of stillness, and even if it's like a little 1-minute meditation, if I'm, you know, en route somewhere and I suddenly feel that energy go, even just pausing for a minute of noticing my breath, it really helps for my body to then be able to process this phenomenal shift in the energy that's coming into us. So beautiful souls, let me shift the camera down and let's move into the readings. So beautiful souls, here are the cards and the runes that have been drawn. I have drawn for these readings, these 3 readings today. How are the solar flares affecting you? Now, we have, for pile 1, we have this card. These are the Avalon Oracle, actually, or Messages of Avalon. I can't actually remember the exact name, but they are the Avalon cards, and I will list them in the description box and in the comment as well for anyone interested. I always do put the cards and the runes there. So this is for pile 1. And the runes that are with pile 1 are the rune of Jira, Harvest, and also Tewaz, the Spiritual Warrior. So these are the runes. For pile 2, we have this beautiful card here with a raven. So this is pile 2, and you have the blank rune, and also Algiz, the rune of protection. So this is pile 2, and pile 3, this is the card for pile 3. Oh, very powerful energy coming through these readings. I have to say, I don't know if you guys are picking up on it, but I am really feeling it. So pile 3, you also have the rune of Joy, Wunjo, and you have the rune of Awaz, Defense. So this is pile 3. I am really excited to be doing these readings. The energy is something else, actually. It really is. Wow. Okay, how exciting. Beautiful souls, I am going to leave the camera running for just a few moments longer to give you plenty of time to just tune in with the cards and the runes and see which of the reading or readings, I know sometimes it's more than one for you guys, see which one is speaking to you, singing to you, and yeah, I will see you in just a moment in the readings. Hey, pile one, welcome to your reading. I'm kind of blown away by these readings and we haven't even started. The energy is quite phenomenal. I'm very curious. Do let us know in the comments what you're picking up on. So this is your card, your primary card. These cards actually have messages on the back, so I'm going to turn it over and read. But look at the light coming out of this cup. We also have a moon. A golden cup, the golden chalice. Now it says, heal through changing your story. Begin in this moment. Don't look back. That's very, very interesting. Do you know, beautiful souls, at the time of doing these readings, obviously you could be tuning into these at any time because, you know, all of these readings, any pick a card reading ultimately is a timeless reading. You find the right reading at the right time if you're guided or drawn to it. But at the time of doing these readings, we are in the moon phase, the moon month of storyteller. Heal through changing your story. Begin in this moment. Don't look back. Your runes, you have the rune of harvest, Jira, and the spiritual warrior. The spiritual warrior is a rune of very clear, decisive energy. Don't look back. Begin in this moment. Change your story. So what is this about? Let's get more information. I'm going to turn this over so we can see that image on the front. And let's dive straight into some tarot cards. I've got the golden tarot pack, which felt really right for a solar flare reading. I'm going to go with, actually they're not all, this one and these two, and this, and I am going to take all those. Right, what are we shown here? We have the Knight of Swords. Look at the imagery on this. He's very determined. What a determined kind of vision. Knight of Swords, cut to the chase. Nine of Wands. We have King of Wands. Page of Cups. We've got Four of Cups, King of Cups, two Kings, Two of Wheels, and Seven of Cups. Okay. Right, how are the solar flares affecting you? I think they are lighting something up for you, as in bringing something to light, showing you something, asking you to change your story. I think you've been tied into something for too long, too long. You may have a perspective about yourself. I think you may think that others don't see you as well. I think there's something about the way people see you. I think you grew up. Now this could connect to a past life scenario as well, but I think in this lifetime you've grown up. When I say experiencing poverty, now for some people that could be genuine poverty. It could be a lack of, literally, the lack of resources. But I think this is to do with internal poverty. I think you've grown up with emotional impoverishment. Is that a word? Well, we'll use it. Impoverishment. I feel like you grew up feeling probably at times quite outcast, like you were a square peg in a round hole. You didn't fit. I'm just seeing quite a lot of rejection, if I'm honest, and I'm so sorry if you actually grew up in the most loving household ever. This may not be the right reading for you, although there is a possibility that the impoverishment would have been poverty, genuinely. In which case, you know, there would have been challenges around you. Maybe you then, if you did grow up in a world where you felt loved, you may also have felt a sense of responsibility. You know, like when a child knows that their parents are struggling, you know, there isn't enough to go round, and you carry a sense of burden or a sense of guilt around it. But there's been something here that feels like emotional deprivation. Actually, it's been really tough. And it's left its mark here. It's almost like it's a them and us, like you could never be the them. But this is actually asking you to change this, to bring in the harvest, to know that you're entitled to it. It's really, I almost feel some of you may also have experienced sort of success in your life where you've worked so hard for it with great determination. You've achieved a lot. I think you've achieved a lot in your life, but I think you've achieved it, but never quite broken through that kind of glass ceiling. There's always been, you'll get so far and it's almost as though something never quite moves beyond a certain level. And part of that is that there's a replaying of a storyline within you that sort of got fixed or within you, where it was this sort of belief of them and us, or that you could never really have anything. Now, it's time that this was changed, brought back into balance, actually. Look at these geese here flying behind this card. Can you see this? They know which direction they're going in. I think that you are, the solar flares are the energy, the electromagnetic energy. This is really interesting. I'll just voice what's channeling through here. I think when the energy comes in, King of Wands, it's a very powerful electric energy. When it comes in, you do need to get still. I want to say allow yourself to receive, because I feel that within, just as so for me, I mentioned at the start, if you skip that bit, that's totally cool, but I mentioned at the start that I notice the solar flare energy affecting me. It's like I feel the impact of it, and my body has to process some kind of a shift, some kind of a change. Now, I think with you guys, when that comes in, I think literally at a cellular level, you can use those pockets of energy where the vibration is different to sort of to release the stuff that has held you back. Literally kind of breathe it out. It's like, you know, do a meditation, small or large, that allows you to sort of to shed, to release, to cleanse, to let go of the storyline, to sort of to really engage with, to get still, and then use your mind in an active way to sort of to reset. Okay, be conscious of resetting your perspectives. Sit in a space of receivership. Know that you can receive. I mean, you might want to develop an affirmation or even a little personal mantra. You know, just even something like, you know, I open myself to receive, or I open myself to receive abundance. Just something that you can repeat to yourself while you are experiencing the energy of a solar flare. Or, you know, I mean, we are in a period of time of heightened activity, so if you're not noticing it particularly, you might just want to get into a regular habit of voicing this affirmation to yourself, because the energy is realigning. And I think if you affirm what you want, affirm that the harvest that you want to bring in with real clarity, I actually feel that the energy of the solar flares, the electromagnetic changes, are helping to really sort of shift stuff within the body. You know, there's a wonderful book, The Body Keeps the Score. I'll put a link to that as well, actually, in the description, along all these many links today. But hopefully, you know, they'll be helpful to you guys. But The Body Keeps the Score is a remarkable book. You know, trauma, difficulty is held, you know, at a cellular level. I used to work therapeutically with a particular method that in that book they talk about it. It's known to be one of the most effective methods of therapeutic methods of healing trauma, from trauma. It's the Pesso-Boyden method, but I'll see if I can put some links to some videos around that as well. But I actually feel within those pockets of time, things can shift. So if you're aligning with a new affirmation, a new story, you know, I am entitled to abundance. I open myself to receive. I just feel that something can be realigned for you here, and it will keep you on track. It will get you back on track, or help to take you through that glass ceiling where maybe it's almost as though where choices can open for you with the Seven of Cups. Yeah, I think that is the purpose for you, pile one, of these solar flares. The energy can assist you in this way. Let's draw some more cards for you as well. Let's see what else we are shown. Draw some alchemy cards. I'm seeing this. I'm seeing 3 for you actually, so let's go with it. We have smoke, fumus. We have increatum, the uncreated. And then we have lead with Saturn, plumbum. Okay, the messages from these cards are coming through really clearly. What they're asking you to do is to see through the illusion, the smoke. See through the illusion of the storyline that you've grown up with, whether it was told to you or you developed it simply because that was the environment you were in and that was the storyline that was woven around you through circumstances. It's time to uncreate, to create something different, to uncreate something that was just all smoke and mirrors. It's not real. The circumstances you were in were real, but actually that perspective that you can't have needs to shift. And, you know, there's been some big life lessons. But with this, with Saturn, the energy of Saturn showing up here, Saturn is where we do learn our life lessons. But this card is also saying to you, or the message I'm receiving from it, look, you know, it's really important not to see things in black and white. I mean, look at the colour coming in here. See through the smoke, see through the illusion. You know, life is not so black and white. You know, you can change things, and now is the time to create that change, because the activity of the heightened solar flare activity is actually here to help you. That electromagnetic shift can really help you to let go at a cellular level and embrace a new storyline. This is what your reading is all about. Revisit. Yes, this is very interesting. We have the card Revisit. I'm hearing them really saying, you know, you need to ideally not keep revisiting those storylines. Don't go over and over it. If you revisit a storyline, then sort of it's a reminder. You know, when your mind automatically goes down that road and takes you to something that you may not want to be dwelling on, when your mind does that, you know, if you get into the zone of noticing, you sort of become aware that you're thinking that anyway again, or you're thinking a thought that is limiting. You know, noticing it and saying, okay, this is an old story and I'm now going to uncreate that. You know, when you notice it, you can sort of almost confront it within your mind. Compassion. And this is lovely. Do so with compassion, because I just feel, look at this imagery here. And we've got the crescent moon in this card here. The crescent moon is a time, if it's the waning crescent moon, it's a time of reflection. If it's a waxing crescent moon, it's a time when we start to get going. Things can get going. We can start in our manifestations. I feel with these crescent moons showing up, and we have a dragonfly. Dragonflies are about seeing through the illusion. You are asked to very compassionately recognize that you have some solid beliefs in you that are not real. They may have been real to the people you grew up with because that was the limitations they grew with. But your world is destined to be different. We are in a period of accelerated growth with leaps of potential shifts and changes. And the more conscious we are and aware of these opportunities, where the energy is primed for transformation, the more we can lean into that space and utilize the energy. And you are really being asked to listen to your heart. What does your heart desire? And recognize that you are entitled to receive. Pile 1, this is a beautiful reading. I'm loving your cards. I'm really loving your cards. Beautiful souls, I think this is how the solar flare energy is affecting you, or can be utilized to affect your own transformation in a really powerfully positive way. Beautiful souls, thank you so much for being here. It is a privilege and an honor to be connected with you. Thank you for being a part of the Moon Magic community. Thank you all of you who give back through the super thanks in the comments. Thank you for commenting and sharing your stories. Beautiful souls, I look forward to seeing you for some other readings really soon. And don't forget to subscribe and press the little bell icon if you want to make sure you never miss a reading. Tons of love, beautiful souls, tons of love. This is amazing. Pile 2, welcome to your reading. The energy is phenomenal. I don't know what you are picking up on, beautiful souls, but yeah, I'm really feeling this big stuff coming through here today. Okay, so this is your card, and these cards have messages on the back, so I'm going to read that message. But we have this raven or crow here on a staff with almost like a pendulum or a stone here. You are definitely being guided, that's for sure. Cut away dense energy. Look at this. Cut away dense energy that holds you back from your goals. Trust in the process of divine timing. This is your message. Very interesting. Cut away dense energy that holds you back from your goals. Trust in the process of divine timing. Right, now the rune of defense. I think you've possibly had to be defended against well, we'll draw more cards, but I'll just voice what's coming through so far, and then I will draw more cards for your reading. I think you've had some circumstances where you've had to learn to defend yourself, and rightly so. You know, if we're being attacked or targeted or whatever, you know, or we're in a dark place, sometimes we have to withdraw. But I feel that defense has almost become the very thing that's now holding you back. So in my kind of therapeutic practice, when I used to work full-time as a therapist, I used to say to clients, you know, sometimes the very things that we put in place to protect ourselves, ultimately, it's like we reach a point in our lives where they pass their sell-by date, and the very thing that we've built, the defense system we've built to keep ourselves safe, actually then keeps out the stuff we want. It would be like if you've been very badly hurt in a relationship, or you were abused, and therefore trust would be a big issue. It's kind of gets to the point where you grow up, you move away from a family where the abuse took place, but you find that you can't let anybody in, and the world is full of, okay, there's some not such good people in the world, but there's also some really good people, and it would be like blocking yourself from being able to welcome any trustworthy people into your world, having a blanket kind of can't trust anybody, and it keeps the good people out as well as the bad. Actually, you need to learn discernment, so you recognize that you can assess who's good, who isn't, and make those choices for yourselves. But that's just an example, but it's kind of, I feel that there's something that you have potentially put in place to protect yourself that now is in the way of you having really good stuff that you need. Now, I do think the solar flares, the energy is helping to cut away. It's like to clean, to cleanse, to release any dense energy within you. So let's draw more cards and see what else we're shown, because this is the blank rune is a rune of incredible possibility. What else are we shown here? May we have cards for my beautiful pile 2. May we get more information and guidance, please, for my beautiful pile 2. I'm seeing this and this and these 2. I think that one is coming out for us as well. Queen of Wheels. Okay, Queen of Pentacles. I always feel that the Queen of Wheels is very, very good at looking after herself. You know, I feel like in a very practical, physical way, she can look after herself. We have the 7 of Wands. We have the 6 of Wheels. We have the Magician. Okay, that's pretty exciting. We have the Page of Wands. We have the Hierophant. We have the Knight of Swords. We have the 3 of Cups. And we have the 5 of Wands. How interesting. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So going back to what I was picking up on, channeling through those first messages. Look at this 5 of Wands, beautiful souls. They've got there's a smile on their faces. It's like, now the 5 of Wands traditionally can be a card of competition, even aggression sometimes. But this is like, it's like an energy where differences can be fun rather than challenging. They're smiling, they're enjoying being with one another. We've got the 3 of Cups, which is all about friendship, connection, love, good, healthy, happy relationships. So, what I do feel here, let's come back to your very first message. Cut away dense energy that holds you back from your goals. Trust in the process of divine timing. I feel that this is a reading that is letting you know that the right people can come to you. Okay? The Hierophant, it is a card of commitment, sometimes even of marriage. But I feel that you can, the solar energy, the solar flare energy, it's that electromagnetic surge. I feel that it can assist us to heal. Actually, I'm seeing this for you. I think that the solar flare energy can help you to heal old wounds that have held you back. Like you can overcome something. You can overcome any kind of there's definitely issues around trust, I think, in this reading. It's to do with your connections to people, your trust and belief in the right things coming at the right time, your trust and belief in divine timing. It's like letting go of any dense energy that holds you back from being able to find the right people, to know that the right people can come, you can let people in, you can have friends. If there are differences, you can overcome them. If there are any differences going on around you, or you feel that doors are closed for you, I feel you're going to, if there's any challenges, actually, any kind of arguments or discord in any relationships where you've been feeling disempowered around you in your current world, I think this is a time when you can overcome those challenges. Doorways will open for you. Literally, you can transform, you can make a commitment as well to, I want to say, your own, if you've had trouble standing up for yourself, if there's been any discord. Let's draw some more cards here for you. This is definitely connecting to finding the right people, being able to trust people, letting go of any dense energy that stays within you from circumstances around people where you had to defend yourself, where maybe there has been either abuse or any kind of discord, any disagreements. I feel that the solar energy allows you to, is like cleansing, in order for you to, it's almost like for you to have the strength within you to overcome any kind of difficulty here, opening doors rather than closing doors for you. If you're needing to be determined or to have a resolve about something, I think the solar flare activity is helping to remove, release, cleanse the heavier energy within you that would make you feel you couldn't achieve, or you can't succeed, or you can't overcome something. This feels very healing. It really does. It feels very, very healing. Look at this. Margarita Preciosa, the new pearl. Wow. This is like the rainbow bridge of healing. I almost feel like you can become a bit of a new you. You can have a surge of revitalization that creates possibility. May we ask for further information, please? Further information, further guidance. Synchronicity, Annus Mundus. Yeah. Wow. Okay, messages coming through. How exciting. Let me just get your last card. We have Rebis, the androgyne. I think that's how you pronounce androgyne. Do you know, I literally feel almost as if you can, I want to say reinvent yourself in terms of manifestation. I almost want to say the world is your oyster, you know, the new pearl. The pearls come through an irritant. You know, there's like a little grain of sand that gets into the oyster and gradually it becomes a pearl. This reading is also telling you that, you know, some of the challenges you faced ultimately have made you the person you are. But there is a need to let go. I feel like lower vibrational energy is being cleansed for you to rise to, I almost want to say rise to glory, rise to fame, rise to success, rise to rise. A bit like the phoenix rising from the ashes, to come into your own in some way, to become a master manifester. The androgyne, this is a card that is completely, there's a balance of masculine and feminine. We've got these rainbows here and a spider. Spiders create. I actually feel that the solar flares are helping you to release and to heal. It's like the electromagnetic shift in energy is enabling you to release stuff that would have previously held you back. You have had to defend yourself, but this is also, you're not just releasing, you're rising in strength. I guess if I spoke at the beginning about the way in which I noticed the solar flares affecting me in a very physical way. It's like my physical body has to sort of stop, and then I get a surge of energy coming in. I feel with you guys, with that sort of initial flow, there's probably a massive release, there's a massive transformation taking place. It's almost as if lower vibrational energy within you is being blasted, lasered out of you, and your energy is then rising. I literally feel you can kind of, yeah, like the phoenix rising from the ashes, you are rising, you are being given heightened vibrational, higher vibrational energy within you. Lower vibrational energy being removed, higher vibrational energy coming, so you can be a much more active participant in creating the world that you desire. I'm seeing many of you rise, sort of fame and fortune almost. Ooh, my cards are flying around. So your first card is strength. Yeah, you're being given additional strength. You've had to overcome some really big challenges, some really big storms. You are who you are because of what's happened. I think there is something being activated in you, or the energy is being activated in you to guide you to us into a space of infinite possibilities. Wow, is what I want to say. Wow, you know, you're being cleansed, you're being assisted. Yeah, relax, look at this. Let the energy do its work. Oh, gosh, look at this. Just look at this image here. Look at the stars. Can you see? All of these stars floating on the sea. What a difference from this turbulent sea, but it still has stars within it. But the turbulence of a life that you have had to really be strong to. There's been some endurance going on in your world. This is releasing energy within you that has lingered because of circumstances where you had to defend yourself. And that healing, the energy is healing you. It's literally healing you from the inside out so that you can rise to success, so you can relax and literally it's bringing your life, it's bringing you, your very system into balance again. And because your energy will be balanced, realigned, then the synchronicity of the universe can actively work to support you. And you can co-create with the universe without any hindrances of any lower vibrational energy within you. I mean, this is what I'm seeing in your reading, pile 2. A magnificent healing so you can rise. Beautiful souls, I'm deeply saddened that you've had some basically really tough stuff to deal with. However, it has actually made you who you are, the remarkable person that you are. And the solar flare energy is helping to realign and rebalance you from the inside out so you can step into your fullest potential. Wow is what I want to say. Wow, wow, and more wow. Pile 2, I love your reading. And although I'm saddened by this, honestly, I think, do you know, every person I admire and respect has been through some kind of big stuff, through adversity, and they have risen, and they are the amazing people that they are because of those challenges. And I believe that applies to you as well. Beautiful souls, I'm sending you the biggest hug ever. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of the Moon Magic Tarot community. You guys are amazing. Thank you for sharing your stories, and thank you for those of you who give back through the super thanks in the comments, and thank you all for commenting. You know, it really is what is making this Moon Magic Tarot community, you know, you are the community. It's your sharing, your insights that make us, you know, who we are collectively here. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Beautiful souls, tons and tons of love. I look forward to seeing you for some other readings really, really soon. Don't forget to subscribe and press the little bell icon if you want to make sure that you never ever miss a reading here. Tons of love, beautiful souls. Hey pile 3, welcome to your reading. Now these cards have messages on the reverse, so I'm going to read that to you. You have Wunjo. This is the rune of joy. You have Awaz. I wonder with the rune of joy, this can also indicate a gift. I'm seeing you look ahead as well at something. This says, let your love overflow. At the end of your life, you will be asked, how deeply did you love? Okay, we're seeing you looking ahead. Okay, how deeply did you love? Let your love overflow. What is holding you back? If your love is not overflowing, let's dive straight into your tarot cards, beautiful souls. We have the Page of Wands, also looking ahead. We have the Hierophant and the Four of Cups. We have the Page of Swords. Okay, we have the Sun, fabulous. Do you know this is the first reading that the Sun has come into, the card of the Sun, when we are doing readings about the Sun and the solar flares. We've got the Nine of Cups. Okay, we have the Eight of Wands. Okay, and we have the Queen of Wheels. Okay, this card came out in pile 2. Anyway, let's focus in on this reading. Wow, she looks really abundant here. So how are the solar flares affecting you? I think they are helping you to see where you want to go, actually. To work out what is right in your life and what isn't, what you want to keep and what you want to let go of, what you want to move away from, what you want to celebrate, it's kind of like giving you a really, almost helping you to focus literally on looking ahead, where you want to go, what you want to be. Think of all the things that you love. I think the solar flares are activating and opening up a vision of where you want to be. It's almost like the world that you want to manifest. What's the shape of the world you want to manifest? What are your dreams? What are your hopes? And if there are any experiences around you that are sort of getting you down a little bit, that you feel a bit despondent about, or you feel aren't moving forwards, this is happening in order to show you with great clarity what is working and what isn't. This rune always reminds me of boundaries, 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 boundaries. What works, what isn't. A boundary is a clear, sort of like drawing a line. I think the solar flares are activating your longer term vision. And interestingly enough, activating pathways for you where you can make clear decisions and choices and a commitment to the things that you do want to manifest, as well as potentially letting go of some things that you don't want. This reading is loaded with success. The Eight of Wands is a card that moves forwards. I mean, he's striding forwards. He's going in a clear direction. So I think there are things being illuminated for you, your vision, your sight of what you want your world to look like in the future, as well as, highlighting the steps you need to take to get there. And that will include potentially cutting away some things that aren't working for you. But nevertheless, that's cool, because if we can't see what isn't working, then we can't make clear choices to sort of do the opposite. I'm seeing a lot of gifts coming to you with Wunjo, the rune of joy, but the gifts are coming in the form of literally of showing you what you want, showing you what you love, showing you what you want more of, showing you, what you haven't got enough of, therefore you want more of it, that kind of stuff. I think there's a definite, clear experience, and I think you're literally experiencing it. It's like you're feeling it. So whereas, if you're in, I don't know if you were trundling along quite nicely, but I think these surges of energy are highlighting really, really at a feeling level in your kind of body. I mean, our emotions are very present in our physical body. It's how you think about it. Emotions are often used to describe quite physical sensations. It's like if you're gutted about something, you're not feeling good, something, or something's a pain in the neck, we feel bad about it, or you well up, tears of joy, for example. You well up with tears of joy. You're emotionally happy, so your emotions kind of come into the body, and I feel you're probably getting heightened emotional sensations around your life experiences, enabling you to look at what you want more of. How do you want the world to be? Helping you to move forwards, to take the strides needed to cut away the things that aren't working and to embrace everything that you desire, to commit fully to the stuff that you really love. That is what I'm seeing. I think heightened emotions, you're probably feeling very heightened emotions at the moment, pile 3. And you may find that your emotions are particularly activated and heightened at the time of a solar flare. Let's draw some more cards for you. I'm seeing these 2 and also the one on the base I'm being shown to take. So this is the uncreated. This actually came out, I think it was pile 1. So if you are drawn to pile 1, it may have a reference point for you. So the uncreated in creatum, we have, how fascinating, this came out in pile 1 and this came out in pile 2. I think this came out in pile 1. How bizarre. Well, if the other readings were calling to you, go with it. Okay, so for you, the uncreated, you are being gifted. I actually feel in those periods of solar flare activity, you might actually find, like me, that you receive some significant downloads. You know, you're being given a vision of how, I want to say how good something can be, how balanced something can be, of what you can create. Seeing through limitations. If you are confused about the future that you want to manifest for yourself, I suspect you might get some really clear downloads with the smoke card. Yeah, any kind of confusion, any areas of if you're making choices and decisions that affect your future, you know, I suspect that during these periods of heightened solar activity, you may find that if you get still, get centered, you'll really see clearly not only where you want to be going, but also how to get there, the steps to get there, the different steps, one step at a time. And you'll be able to take action, literally one step at a time. But I feel almost as if pathways will be opened for you to get to a place of real, you know, with the creative energy to do this. If you're a creative person, if you've had any kind of, I don't know, procrastination, or you've been struggling with writer's block or anything like that, get still and meditate during the pockets of time when the solar activity is happening, because I think you'll get massive downloads. You'll see the answers. You'll see where you want your book to if you're writing a book, for example, and you've had writer's block, you'll see the answers. You'll see where you want to go with this. It'll be so clear to you. I think it's really activating your capacity to receive with clarity a vision of the future and exactly what you need to do to get there. This is amazing. Okay, beautiful souls. Let's see what else we have here. We have freedom and calm. Okay, how beautiful. Freedom and calm. Get still. This is really a really clear message. At the times of the solar flares, or if you are feeling the impact of them, get still. Just get really, really still. Get centered. The more you calm your mind, the more you will be shown exactly your route to emotional freedom, abundance of freedom, you know, seeing your route through any confusion. So again, if you are experiencing any confusing emotions, you'll see your way through them. It's like the veil will be lifted. You'll see, if you're struggling to find an answer to something, get still and you'll see the answer. But I think the solar flare activity is heightening your capacity to literally receive these downloads, to get those creative answers, to see what you need to do next. Beautiful souls, I have said in at least one of the other readings, I'm going to put some extra links into the description box. I'll put them in the comment as well, because I came across a site. I may have said this right at the beginning as well, but if you skip just straight to the readings, I came across a site that shows the most recent solar activity and also sort of tells you, if you know, what might be happening in the next few days. But it's worth, they update it regularly. It's worth checking in on that if you want to sort of check out when these solar flares are expected. I think for you guys, the energy is assisting you in getting really clear about what you want to create. It's like it's gifting you with sight. It's gifting you with vision. It's gifting you with the information you need to take the steps towards the manifestations of your dreams, really, ultimately to freedom, to emotional freedom, to happiness. This is beautiful, to joy. Pile 3, this is your reading. I'm loving the energy and the assistance that we're being shown is available to us through these readings. I'm thrilled, and I'm thrilled I got the download, the creative download, to be able to share it with you through these readings, because that's how they came about. Beautiful souls, thank you so much, Pile 3, for joining me for these readings. I think you are a gifted seer anyway, but your seeing is becoming heightened at the time of these electromagnetic storms, these electromagnetic alterations in the incoming vibrational energy. So Pile 3, tons and tons of love. This feels really exciting and like a doorway to freedom for you. Thank you so much for being here. It is such a privilege to read for you. Thank you to those of you who give back through the super thanks in the comments. And thank you all of you who comment. It's just wonderful to hear your stories and to read what you share of your lives. It really is what is, making this a beautiful community. So thank you. Pile 3, yeah, use the energy. I think it's really working for you. And yeah, tons of love, beautiful souls. Don't forget to subscribe and press the little bell icon if you want to make sure you never ever miss a reading as soon as I upload them. Pile 3, tons and tons of love.